understanding. It sounds
what you were doing.
You don't have Christ in your heart. So
what do you
can't
think about
see
it?
blind.
I'm going to let my friend talk to you a little bit, too. I got to guess.
Oh, hey, that other fellow that called in was a good guy that you cut down last week. I really respected him. He was right. You were wrong. Now, this Deuteronomy 4:2 thing you talked about last week.
All right.
You said you can't add, and the New Testament is adding, and Yahweh said in Proverbs 30, verse 6, lest you be found a liar. Revelation 22:19 says don't add also. So are you saying that the book of Psalms and the book of Hosea are counterfeit books? They were added later. What about those?
No, here. Well, let me answer your question, sir. No, sir. No. Let me answer your question. Even though those books were added later, there's nothing in those books that is contrary to the words of the Most High.
And neither is there in the New Testament.
Yes,
it's magnifying the holy law. Yahweh said he'd magnify his own law, Isaiah 42:21, and you said the law can't be magnified.
Well, let me ask you this.
Now, do you believe Yahweh or
you're saying that Christ is Yahweh?
Absolutely.
Well, then, didn't Yahweh say that David was going to be the Messiah?
Never. That's you said that.
Okay, well,
somewhere in the Bible.
let me read what the Most High says.
He's the anointed one to rule over Israel, but he's not the Messiah.
Hold it. Then let's go to the scripture.
You're really going to screw up on this.
Hey, now be nice now.
I'm
holding
nice.
you on the line. I'm going to have to put you on hold then.
If you keep go ahead. I'll be quiet.
Thank you. What we're going to do? What we're going to do for our listening audience, we're going to let them know where Yah spoke of David coming to earth as the Messiah of the earth. One of the passages that we're going to read, we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. In Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, here's what it says. We're going to start reading at verse 21.
And say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Elohim.
Now you saying this is Christ speaking now. Go ahead.
Behold, I will take the children of Israel from amongst the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Elohim. And David, my servant, shall be king over them.
He said that Yah said he'll be the Elohim, but David will be the king over them. And then he goes on and say,
and they shall all have one shepherd.
One shepherd.
They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children, forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever.
Now, how long is forever, George?
It's forever.
Well, after I make this comment, here the Creator says, when he set up his kingdom on earth, it would be in Jerusalem, and they all of the house of Israel would have one king, one shepherd, and one prince, and his name would be David, and David would be the king of his people forever.
Israel.
Yeah, but Israel will be the king over all the world. Wait, hold it. Yes, it did.
No, anyway,
yes. No. You want to? I'll show you where Yahweh said. You said Yahweh is Christ. I want to show you where Yahweh said Israel shall be the king over all the earth, and that every nation on this earth will have to serve the house of Israel. And you can find that. You can find that in the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter. And here's what the Creator says in the 60th chapter of Isaiah about his sons and his daughters. And then the Creator start reading in the 60th chapter, start reading 11th verse for him.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee
Yah said the nation and kingdom that
Hey,
will
my
not serve
cell phone may
thee
die on me.
shall perish.
shall perish.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly
The
wasted.
Creator said those nations that don't serve the house of Israel will be utterly wasted.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. And they shall call thee the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
Good gracious
I hope I don't run out
almighty.
of time on my cell
Well,
phone.
right here, George, I got to stop it right here. It said all the nations. It said the nation and kingdom that will not serve the nation of Israel shall perish.
Serving Jesus is serving
No,
Israel.
no, no,
He's
no,
from Judah. He's an
no,
Israelite.
no, no, no.
He's your king.
There's not
He's
one
your king.
verse. There's not one verse where Yah said serve Christ. Not one
Oh,
verse.
you are so wrong. Isaiah 9, 6, and 7.
Well,
I know you'll try and twist
no,
the
well, let's-
mighty God. The
Well, let's go to
everlasting Father.
Isaiah 9 and got
Oh, I knew you tried. Well, let
Yes.
me finish the other scriptures before you go there.
All right.
How can I get anything across if
Yeah,
you keep
good
taking
enough.
this road? Well,
Good
nobody's
enough.
got a chance to talk.
Go ahead. You got it, George.
Okay, you need to read Zechariah 14 where it says the Lord
No,
will be in
let's
Jerusalem sitting
comment
the
on
throne.
what we already.
Are
You said
saying
you
Yahweh's
wanted.
not going to reign in Jerusalem?
You just said you wanted to comment on what I read, and I
You
in
were
the book
trying to
of.
prove that David was the Messiah, and you have given nothing to prove he's the Messiah. He's simply an anointed king to rule over Israel forever, and that is a great privilege. And I agree with you.
Well,
that he's
sir,
going to rule over Israel.
well, George, you didn't know that an anointed king is the Messiah. That's what the word
The word
Messiah
anointed
means.
is Messiah. I know that. I've known
No,
that for 25
the
years.
word anointed means the Messiah, George.
Oh, yes.
I thought
but
you
he's
knew
part-
that.
There's all, well, is Cyrus the
Well,
Messiah? And
let me
Isaiah-
allow
he's
my
the
guest to
shepherd.
comment too.
Answer that
Ishaya,
for me, Elesha.
Ishaya.
Yes.
Well, I want you to stay on here with us so you can hear us. But
Okay.
George wanted me. I want to give you a chance to comment before we go off. But I
Okay.
won't let you comment. Then I'll go to George. Would you like to comment on what we're talking about?
Yes. Just going back to what you originally asked him about Christ being the Most High and how the laws was changed. In the book of Matthew, in the 5th chapter, where it was said, "But I say unto you," and George keeps saying that Christ came to magnify the law. The truth is, George don't keep the laws of the Most High. And he said those are the laws of the Most High, but he don't keep the laws of the Most High. He don't keep the Sabbath day. He don't keep the
I don't know. I
dietary
think
laws.
George, he's trying to keep the Sabbath day, even though he's worshiping the wrong person. But you're right. He's not keeping the Sabbath, but he don't work on the Sabbath though.
Well,
Am I
and
right?
he still, but even though, as
You guys
you
aren't
stated,
keeping the
they
Sabbath.
have to. They also, how you going to keep the Sabbath without keeping it with Israel? Because the laws was given to Israel, and so
You're right,
therefore
you're
he
right.
keeps saying the law is being magnified in the New Testament. But the truth is, these Christians are not keeping the laws. If they keeping the great laws of Yahweh, then they will first come through Israel, who the laws was given to.
Oh,
And I think George needs to explain who these laws
well,
were given
I
to.
don't think George having George.
Yeah, can you hear
And
me?
listen, our time is running out. But
Oh,
will you
I-
come with us with next week? Will you call in early?
I will call in. I don't want to put you guys down.
And I know
disagree with you.
I know
I'm
you
trying
are.
to be
And listen,
friendly
could you
without
get
hostile.
and could you find a minister somewhere that can agree with you that would talk with us also?
I'm a few. Most of those Sunday ministers make me sick. They don't obey God's laws. You're right. I've been telling them that for 40 years. They don't like me.
But
I
listen-
tell them that they're not keeping the laws, and the law is in effect, every bit of it. And Christ magnified all of it. We're
All right.
not keeping everything.
Well,
The
I
only
tell you
thing we
what.
disagree
I tell
on
you
is
what.
circumcision.
Our time is running. I don't have to let you go right now. But Ishai and George, I appreciate y'all calling in. But next week I want y'all to be in early, and we're going to talk about this same thing, the Mark of Cain.
If I'm
All right.
in Cincinnati here, I'll definitely call you back, and I'll try.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you. But right now, we want to tell our listeners we appreciate their indulgence and we appreciate them listening attentively and the call-ins. And if anybody have any questions or comments, you can call me after the show. And any minister that wants to arrange to be a guest on the show, call me up. Did you hear that, Endura? If you want to be a guest, call me 226-7110, and we'll bring you in. But right now, our time is out. If anybody have any other questions or comments, call me. And until next week, Yahweh love you very much, and so do I. Shalom.